Well, as it turns out, it's meetings, which is highly unusual. The Secretary of State met with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Then he met with Israel's president, defense officials, and now he's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu again. And the statements that came out of the initial meeting, as you noted, he essentially was voicing the U.S. support for Israel, that as long as the United States exists, is what he said, Israel will have an ally and will have support. And that's essentially the understanding of why he's here, to show a face, to show in person the U.S. support beyond the words that we heard from President Biden a few days ago. This is to be here, boots on the ground, considering this situation currently, as you will. On Friday, Secretary of State Blinken is meant to meet with the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, in Jordan, from what we understand, and possibly he'll be meeting with King Abdullah also in Jordan. But again, this is a show very much of support on what may very well be, could be the eve of, not this exact eve, but in general terms, the eve of what may be an Israel ground incursion into Gaza.
Meanwhile, we've seen more rockets fired from Gaza into Israel.
That's right, and just within the past few minutes, right here in our position, we're in Sderot. This is a city that's right on the dividing line between Gaza and Israel. Behind me, you see the wreckage of a police station that was taken over by Hamas militants last Saturday and destroyed, burnt. Up to 20 people were killed inside by the militants, plus militants. So essentially, Israel razed that police station behind me. But beyond that, rockets fired on Jerusalem, sort of a hello greeting to Antony Blinken being in Israel, although he wasn't specifically in Jerusalem. As well, Syria is attributing strikes on the airports in Damascus and Aleppo. They're attributing those to Israel. And the understanding here is that that is in retaliation for mortar fire that came from Syria in recent days. Also, it could be a way of keeping any Iranian weapon supplies moving to Hezbollah in Lebanon from Syria. The death toll, Israel says, from the Hamas militant onslaught into Israel on Saturday has risen to or passed beyond 1,300. And also a Patriot air defense missile was fired in northern Israel in the past hour. No details yet about what that's all about or the details around that. And the very last bit, you were talking about the aid and humanitarian aid, as well as fuel, electricity, and goods, supplies to Gaza. And you said, and that's Israel is reiterating, until kidnapped people that were taken into Gaza, women, children, elderly, soldiers, until they're returned, the supplies stay cut off. So that's the very latest that we have. Also waiting for word to see what will be the latest in terms of Israel's next moves here.